The lights on my Aprilia Tuono are absolutely terrible. So I bought these Easy Eagle H7 LED headlight bulbs from Amazon. They're only a tenner each delivered. And they're essentially like plug and play, stick them on the bike, nice and bright, 3 times brighter and much more efficient. Firstly, to see how the lights work, if you just turn the ignition on, you don't get the main headlights come on. As you can see, I've got 12.3 volts without the ignition running, but then you get the daylight running LED that you can see just there, and then if you start the bike up, just get that running, then you get the headlights on. These are the original Philips halogen bulbs in there. All good, and then that's the main beam. It just lights up the central light there. Now with the bike running, I've got 4.2 volts, so what I wanted to do was just see how the bulbs work on those different voltage settings. So they're H7 12 volt 55 watt as standard. Turn the bars to the left and then you can gain access to the headlight, and you need to pull off that big connector block, and then there's a spring retaining clip that you have to get off. It's a little bit fiddly if you've got big fingers, but I used a pair of long nose pliers and it makes it a bit easier getting in there. So anyway, get that clip off and flick it out the way, and then you can get the H7 bulb. Just carefully take it out, don't touch the glass or anything on it. So there it is, Philips H7 12 volt, and they're quite yellow as standard. On my bench power supply, I've set the voltage to 12.3. This is with the Philips original bulb, and as you can see, that's drawing 4.06 amps. Okay, that's at the 12.3 volts. I just did it at these two values just to see how it changed. And then if I set it to 14.2, which is when the bike's running, and test it, it draws 4.41 amps, and that's the Philips original bulb. Now here we've got the box with these new Eagle LEDs. You get a little instruction manual in there. As I say, you get 2 bulbs in the pack. They work out a tenner each delivered. They've got built-in cooling fans as well. And they're literally 5-10 minutes to install, but just take your time when you're doing it. So as you can see, it's got the cooling fan on the back, comes with the connector as well. You can rotate it to get the beam pattern set up correctly on the bike as well, so you're not blinding drivers coming the other way. So now I'm switching over to the new LED bulbs just to see how efficient they are. Firstly, I've got it set there to 12.2, 12.3 volts. Turning it on, yeah, nice and bright. I mean, it's really difficult to tell on the camera, but they are super bright. And that is drawing 1.71 amps, so under two times less than 2 times the what the original bulbs are drawing. Now set at 14.2 volts, it's drawing 1.48. It seems a bit arse about face, but it's actually running more efficiently at the higher voltage, which is why the current is less. But anyway, yeah, it just sort of proves the point really. Here you can see the cooling fan on the back of the new LED bulbs. They obviously for heat control in there. Now we're back on the bike, we're fitting it in. It's basically the reverse procedure again. It is a little bit fiddly. You've got the spring retaining clip as well that you have to sort of open out to get round the body of the cooling fan just to get it in there. And I guess those with bigger fingers, you're going to find this a little bit more difficult. But I mean, if you've got a kid, get your kid to help you, it'll be a lot easier. So yeah, a little bit fiddly, but essentially the reverse procedure. And again, you know, use your long nose pliers to get in there. You just sort of got to bend those clips back in so it's properly held in position. And as I showed earlier, you can rotate the orientation to get the correct beam pattern on the lights as well. Once that's clipped in, then you've got the connector. They're literally plug and play. There's no sort of wires to cut or anything like that. Click them in, and then again, like carefully tuck it in. Again, it's a little bit fiddly getting it back in there. Get that tucked away, and then just put the cap on. Exactly the same as before. Put it in there, and then when you do the other side, it's exactly the same. You just turn the bars the other way, go through exactly the same procedure. So this is with the bike running now. The left hand one, as you see it, is the new LED. The right hand one is the original Philips bulb. The new LED ones are much brighter. Again, you can't tell it on the camera, and much whiter light as well. Now this is with both of them done. So both sides, they're super bright and a really nice cool white colour. Makes it look a lot more modern.